Hey, good evening. Mr. Gilbert here with a little video about the speed of light. Before we get too far into it, you might want to review a little bit about light by the electromagnetic spectrum video we made earlier in the year. And of course, probably one of the most famous pictures of all time was the old bending of light into its different rays through a prism. Galileo was all about it, so were other optics people, and also Pink Floyd. But what does this really tell us about light? You know, it travels, it's made up of different electromagnetic energy, traveling at different rates, different speed. We can bend it, but so what? Well, first of all, how big is space? Because we're in a space unit. Space is big, but how big? How do we measure distances in space? Do we use feet, kilometers, miles? What? Well, you may know the answer. We use AUs to start with, astronomical units, which is basically the average distance from the sun to the earth. But if we're talking about things that are really far away, we have to use something else, like light years. So what the heck is a light year? Well, a light year is how far light travels in 1 year, 365.25 days. Let's figure out how far that is. Okay, well, warp speed, Mr. Scotty, gotta love those space things, a light year. Well, what's the speed of light? 186,000 miles per second. Pretty fast, figuring that I'm talking only at 768 miles per hour. This is 186,000 miles per second. Big difference, big difference. Okay, and how long is an Earth year? You should already know that from EMS. So a little bit of math going on here, right? We do some math, 186,000 miles times 60 seconds times 60 minutes times 24 hours times 365 days. And that tells us that light travels, roughly 9.46 trillion kilometers, 5.9 times 10 to the 12th miles. It travels a long, long, long way, 5.9 trillion miles in a year. Yeah, that's long. That's far. Okay, so traveling at the speed of light, it takes sunlight a little over 8.5 minutes to reach Earth. It takes sunlight a little over 5.5 hours to reach Pluto. And these are just objects in our solar system. So within our solar system, if the Earth was the size of a pea, Jupiter would be 1,000 feet away, Pluto no bigger than a molecule. The second closest star to us is still 10,000 miles away. And Pluto, we'll learn about the Oort cloud, is only 1/5 of the way to the Oort cloud, which is the outermost gravitational field in our sun's influence. It's kind of the edge of our solar system. You know, if we travel at spacecraft speed, it takes us about 3 days to reach the moon that far away. The sun's 93 million miles. Traveling at spacecraft speed, it would take us about 10,000 years to reach the outermost Oort cloud. So what is space? Mainly nothing but gases and dust. Yes, there are stars, planets, all these things, dwarf planets, moons, rings, asteroids, meteoroids, comets, but space is mostly space, dust and gas. It's so empty that if you were randomly dropped into the universe, the chances you would be on or near a planet would be less than 1 in a billion, trillion. That's 10 to the 33rd power. Space is empty. Even though when we look at it, we see a lot of light. There's a lot of distance between that stuff. And that's it. Have a good one.